My name's Robert Hyman, and I'm associated with the Theatre of Stratford East as a composer and a lyricist and a writer and a musical director. In fact, any odd job that they need, I'm here. I'm actually usually kept in a cupboard till Christmas time and then wheeled out for panto. My first job here, although I did a couple of variety nights many years ago with a couple of choirs, but when I actually started working here was 1998. And Kerry Michael brought me in to be musical director for Cinderella, which was his first pantomime as a director, and we'd known each other for some years before, and he asked me to come in and be the musical director for that. A fabulous show. Brian Prothero wrote the music and David Cregan the script, and that's where it started. And then I basically didn't go anywhere really. I almost like a musical squatter. The following year, Kerry asked me to write the music, write the songs, and that was for I can't remember which panto that was. Dick Whittington with Patrick Pryor, and that was my first musical score for panto. And then for years afterwards, some years I was just the musical director, and some years I wrote it, all the music, and some years I did both, and enjoyed. I built up a long relationship with the audience at Stratford as Uncle Robert, and there's still quite a lot of people today who will go, "Uncle Robert, how are you doing?" I'm going, "It's all right." I used to. Some years I had more lines than some of the actors, which was they weren't written, but I'd always talk to the audience like before and after the show in good old Joan Littlewood workshop style. If the audience be going out and I'd be asking them to take their rubbish with them and throw money and buy me a drink at the bar, begging mostly, which is quite common for musicians. But what I like about that is this theatre was the first theatre I ever went to as a kid, because I was born in East Ham, which is only not a million miles up the road, and my mum used to always tell the story of coming to panto and the dame coming down off the stage and sitting on my dad's knee. So for me, I don't know if it's full circle or if basically I just sort of came in one day and never left. But I really like the fact that this is where my journey in theatre started, and I've been here a few years since. Here we are in the 140th year of Stratford, and it's my 26th year if I started in 98, 08, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 25, 27 years, and there we are. I can't count, I'm a musician, can only do up to 4. So I've been here 27 years and done panto nearly all of those years. I've had 2 years off, I think, in that whole time. Each time when my lovely wife Geraldine gave birth to one of our 2 sons. So I would take Christmas off at those times. But I haven't just done panto. I mean, I've lost count of the number of pantos now over the years. It must be about 25. But also done some really other lovely shows. Particularly, I think of things like Come Dancing with Ray Davis, which was musical director for and did the arrangement for. That was great. Working with a legend like Ray was a bit of gold, and was really honoured to be musical director for The Big Life in its original production and take it into the West End. Which became my first West End credit. But to be connected with such a beautiful show, historic, and sort of Philip Headley's last great role as a producer, to be associated with that was just an honour. And that they really do stand out. Recently, Gotta Be Tambo and Bones, just an extraordinary piece of theatre. For me, obviously, pantos are really important. I'm never going to forget Pinocchio, That was back in 2005, which was the first one that I got to write with Trish Cook. We've written lots of pantos here. She's just the most lovely writer for a family audience she just knows how to embrace a community. But the thing I remember mostly about that is the fact that we had Pinocchio's nose grow as he tells lies, just like the story. And the nose grew all the way from the stage, all the way across and touched the front of the dress circle, which was an extraordinary thing to see. But there's got to be about 20 feet, you know. We did a Jack and the Beanstalk, and the set was basically a giant metal kitchen, and we had Mr. and Mrs. Hogarth. It was a Jenny Tiramani set. It was all in metal, and it literally filled the whole stage, and it was like almost as tall as the cross arch. So this kitchen would thunder on. It was absolutely huge and enormous. And then Mr. and Mrs. Hogarth would come in, and they were on wires. So they were on stilts and wires so that they wouldn't fall over. And they would come onto the stage. They'd be like, 20, 25 foot high. And it would frighten everybody. Sadly, I have to say, there were children in the audience crying because they were just gigantic. And I think sometimes it's a whole show, but sometimes it's just a memory, because I think one of the things Stratford really knows how to create is a moment, a theatrical moment, and to take risks with that moment. And there's a lot of theatres now doing that, but we've been doing it for years and years and years. I mean, right back to Joan Littlewood days, Oh, What a Lovely War took extraordinary risks. And I think that's what people have always associated you. If you come to Stratford, you're going to get something unique. So the building's unique and the work is unique. We did a pantomime, let's 6 or 7 years ago. I think it was a Red Riding Hood. And I met an actress there called Jodie Jacobs, who came on to do the sound check before we'd got going into tape rehearsal. And she went up on the stage, and the sound guy goes, okay, let's hear you, please. And she basically did a one-woman show for the next 10 minutes, and she sang and she spoke and she acted. And I sat there, and even though we'd been in rehearsals, for 3 weeks, I sat there and we went, good heavens, the range of this actress is extraordinary. She was showing us vocal techniques things we'd never seen in rehearsal. And I said, look, you're extraordinary. I would love to be able to write you something in sort of Tell Me on a Sunday style that Angela Webber did, a vehicle, because she was just amazing. I was blown away. And then you sit there and you go, I can't, you look for something. And years go by, and then obviously walking around this building, you suddenly look and see, and of course all around the corridors are pictures of Joan and Joan's productions, and it was almost a bit like a light bulb, and you're sort of going, oh, Joan, because Joan was a phenomenal force of nature. I mean, there's no doubt about it. Anybody you talk to about Joan, she just... People cannot let go of her memory, because she would imprint herself on you just by meeting her. And that extraordinary energy, I went, oh, Joan. It seemed like a match made in heaven. So I then contacted the theatre and said, look, I would really like to write a musical about Joan, a one-woman show about Joan, where she can literally show us who she is, who she was. And what she did, and an awful lot of she was so outrageous. Most of the things she said I can't repeat now, because I don't know what the age limit is on this video. She was an outrageously outspoken woman who could be really quite cruel, but also hysterically funny at the same time. And she also had one of the great love stories of our time with Jerry Raffles, who literally kept this theatre open. I mean, literally by sort of laying in front of the bulldozers to stop them pulling it down. And of course, the theatre is now in Jerry Raffles Square. So you've got this extraordinary woman who's funny, rude, outrageous, a great big love story. it wasn't just a story that had to be told. It clearly went to a place that music would really suit as well. And then the theatre came to me and said, well, look, we're going to be 140 years old. We can't think of anything more perfect than having a musical about Joan, who literally opened the theatre up, put it on the map. Would you like to write it? Well, who wouldn't? I mean, let's be honest. So I did. Lots of research, lots of visiting the archive and the British Library. Thanks to the lovely Murray Melvin, there's so much material there. Got to read Joan and Jerry's letters that they wrote to each other. Got to meet lots of people who knew Joan, worked with Joan. Had long chats with Peter Rankin, who wrote her biography. People who were part of the workshop. It was a really lovely period of research. And then, yes, so back in April of this year, just for the one night, we put Joan back in the theatre that she vowed never to set foot in again. It was a gorgeous and wonderful night. I have to say, you asked me what's my biggest memory, what's my most important memory of something here? It would be that. Because of sitting on that stage for a whole day. For a whole day, I got to be on the stage performing something that I'd written about this stage. It kind of doesn't get better than that. With an extraordinary actress who did the most amazing performance. I mean, it wasn't an impersonation, but it embodied her spirit totally. And it was the most rewarding experience, and a huge amount of lovely feedback. But it was great to keep Joan alive in this theatre, and a great big, I don't know, birthday present for its 140th year. Work at Christmas. It's every theatre's got its own atmosphere, but there's something about this place that I think our audience keeps coming back. We've got a loyal audience, and I think we also have a loyal performance base. For me, it's home. I mean, it literally is home. This is I've been here every year for 27 years. It's its diversity. It's the fact that it respects its community. It's the fact that it welcomes its community. And as Stratford, Stratford has changed so much in the years that I've been here. The buildings, the changing, Westfield, but this theatre changes not on the outside but on the inside, and it goes with that. It goes with the flow, and it understands that the stories that need to be told need to change, and they do change. And it's not scared to do that. It's not scared to listen to the people around here. It's not scared to welcome the people around here. Joan used to say that the genius is in the people. That everything that we do here is because the people want it, need it, or inspire it. And every artistic director who comes here appreciates that and brings more and more people into the fold that reflect that extraordinary panoply of ideas and views and make theatre out of it. So to be here is it's just great. And I'm sure other theatres have their own history and their own stories, but that's why I keep coming back here, and I'll keep coming back as long as they have me. I suppose what people mostly know me for here at Stratford is the pantomimes. And having done so many, I think what I'm really honoured by, to be honest, it is an honour to write panto for Stratford, because Stratford, of course, does what so few theatres do. There are a few more beginning to do it now. That thing of every year we have a new script and we have original songs. We don't take, Steps or a boy band and rewrite the lyrics. We write songs that are right for that moment in the story. So basically, we're writing a new musical every year, which is kind of fun and a challenge and a bit scary. But what I really like is the fact that you can write something that the kids are going to get, that they're going to like, because you can be right on the money with whatever the latest trend is or what kids are into. We've been into schools and asked them, so it makes a lot of sense that you can actually. And I know if I've done my job right or not, because previews, I'll sit there with the schools as they're coming in, and if the kids are into it, they'll into it, and if they don't like it, they tell me, because quite a few of them know now. You write the music. I went, yeah. They went, it's all right. And as far as I'm concerned, I'll take it's all right as a compliment. But what I love about a Stratford audience is their honesty. If they don't like something, they'll tell you, and they'll tell you fast. And that's good. It's good for the panto cast too, because it keeps them on their toes. And yeah, you got to love a Stratford panto audience, because they're honest and they're straight for it. So I've written a lot of songs now over the years. I counted it up at Christmas, and I've now written over 300 panto songs in the last 27 years. So far, because obviously I'm writing songs for this Christmas, Mama Goose. I hope you're coming to see it. This Christmas at Stratford East. It's a winner. I'm just egging you on there. Sorry, bad panto pun. I'm not writing the script. You'll be really glad after that pun that I only write the songs. And it's going to be a cracking show. Sorry, it was a bad joke. That thing of having to write 12 to 15 new original songs every Christmas and making sure that they're right. But it's great because the show's a better show for it. It makes it really special. And I think we've got such a diverse community. You want to be able to touch everybody's favorite musical genre, because we get every age, and you want something for the grandparents, and you want something for everybody, and particularly the kids. I take a lot of time making sure that the music's right, because for a lot of the kids, it's their first experience of theatre. The first time they're coming to a theatre, likely to be a school trip to a pantomime, and you want them to come back. You want them to be our audience of the future. So I don't want them saying it's whack. It's got to be good. So I like the challenge. I like the challenge that every year musical styles change, stars come and go, and you got to be on it. So it keeps me fresh. It keeps I've got to be I can't be writing the songs that I wrote 20 years ago, because that's not going to work. So that's good for me as a writer. I mean, that's really nice. We have the system works. It's nice that we've got this. Stratford's a community. The theatre is a community, and we all pull together to get that place where a panto audience can shout, break that fourth wall, join in with the show. Again, Joan would love that whole thing of let's just tear down the wall so that we can all make, basically the auditorium and the stage becomes one great big performance space, one big theatre. And if everybody feels comfy with that, we've done our job right. And then everybody goes away going, oh, I really enjoyed that. I liked being part of it. I liked joining in. Songs were great. Cast made me laugh. All of that. It's the great universal theatre, panto, I think. If you do it well, and Stratford, they do it well.